Hi darlings! It's Hazel here at The Right Copy Girl, and this week I want to talk to you about creativity and entrepreneurship. Ooh. Now, for those of you who don't know your classical mythology, the Muses were the inspirational goddesses of Greek myth. They presided over literature and science and the arts, and they were highly esteemed as a source of knowledge, of all the knowledge really held in the poetry and the songs and the myths of the ancient Greeks and a lot of the cultures and societies that came before them as well. Now, by some accounts they were the daughters of Zeus, who was the king of the gods of Olympia. By other accounts they were the daughters of Gaia, who was the great earth mother. Now, either way, that's some fairly astonishing parentage, and they were very important in the Greek pantheon, even though they weren't individually recognised as major deities. Now, I should probably explain to you why I'm talking about Greek myth at this point. I spend quite a lot of time talking about mythology and the psychology that kind of goes with mythology. Anyone who is familiar with my divine blogging design, which is my kind of signature method of blogging, is based on archetypes, and the notion that psychologically all humans conform to one of about 12 archetypes, and that if you can identify your audience and narrow it down to a specific archetype and write for that one particular archetype, then you will basically, well, you'll nail your copy basically. So that's the divine blogging design in a nutshell. The rebellious muse is a concept that I came up with when I was thinking about how it is that entrepreneurs have this particular kind of creative flair and how it differs from other forms of creativity. I mean, there are a lot of incredibly creative, incredibly intelligent people in the world, and not all of them are entrepreneurs. But the thing I have noticed from spending an awful lot of time with other entrepreneurs is that there is a particular type of creative thought that tends to come with being an entrepreneur. I think this is one of the reasons why a lot of people become entrepreneurs, is because they have this kind of whimsical creative flair in them, and it doesn't really fit into normal jobs and career tracks. It's the thing that makes us not really like 9-to-5 jobs and working in an office and, you know, not being our own boss and not really getting to channel those really kind of passionate creative energies that we have, that we don't really know what to do with otherwise. I know a lot of women especially started businesses because they had that in them and they just had no outlet for it at all, and their business became the outlet for that creative spark inside them. Everybody has creativity. It's not a trait that's exclusive to entrepreneurs, but I think there are very different kinds of creativity, and there are certain personality types, if you will, that are more creative than others, and for whatever reason entrepreneurs tend to be the creative bunch. I think it actually works the opposite way around. I think it's the creativity that turns us into entrepreneurs. I think it's the inability to find an outlet for that creative energy anywhere else that actually sort of inspires us to set up our own businesses and do these things. But it's kind of a double-edged blade, because you see, for all the times when you have that insane creative insight, when you just have loads of energy and you know exactly what you're doing and you can see every aspect of everything that you want to do, and you just want to work at it and work at it and work at it for every day like that, you have days when you just can't get it at all. It's like there's a light in your head. Some days it's on, some days it's off. When it's on, it's great. When it's off, you're screwed. The trouble with that creative spark is it's really rebellious by nature, and in a sense that's a good thing, because it's that rebellion that led you to say, no, normal job, not for me, I'm going to start my own business. But on the other hand, it's kind of a bitch, because, you know, there are days when that light's just not on, and for love nor money you can't do anything. You sit and stare at your computer screen for hours, nothing happens. You try to do all the things on your to-do list and it either takes you all day just to get one of them done, or no matter what you try, nothing works and everything goes wrong. And those days are really, really frustrating. See, the thing you have to remember about the Rebellious Muse is that you owe her quite a lot. If it weren't for that creative spark and that creative flair, you wouldn't have your business. You wouldn't be the wondrous thing that you are. Doesn't matter what area you're in, whatever you're doing, however you're doing it, the way you are doing it is the way that nobody else could ever do it. And that's because of your personal, crazy ass creative spark. It's yours, it's unique, it's the thing that makes you so much better at what you do than everybody else. But the thing with gifts like that is, at some point, you have to pay the piper. So, what are we actually meant to do about this? Just not work on the days when the light's not on? That's not really going to help your business. The way I look at it is that there are days when I can work on creative things. There are days when I can work on things that require that light, that particular light to be on. And there are days when, for whatever reason, I just have to accept the fact that that light is not there. It'll come back at some point, but today it's not there. And while it's not there, there is no point trying to do the things that I can only do when I have that light. So, for example, in my case, writing is really where my creative energy is. If my creative energy is absent for whatever reason, trying to write anything at all, it can be as simple as an email, trying to write is just a no-go. I just don't do it. There are 3 reasons for this. Number 1, you have a talent, and if you aren't really careful with it, you will burn it out completely. If you push it on days when it doesn't want to work, on days when it's saying, nope, it's not happening today, if you push it, it will burn out and it will take you forever to get it back again. So you just have to kind of, on those days, say, right, I just need a break. You take a step back, you do something else. Otherwise, you're going to lose it for a lot longer. 2, the quality of what you're actually going to do on those days when you're trying to force it is not going to be good. Okay? It's just not. And especially if you are using your creative energy for something for a client, so if it's not actually for yourself, if it's for somebody else, if you're creating that work on one of those days, you are doing them a severe injustice. You are not going to give them your best. You are going to give them something that isn't what they paid you for, because they paid you for your talent and your talent is just not there that day. Okay? And number 3, you are just going to stress yourself out so much. I've had these days. I've had days when I've seen my to-do list is like a mile long, and I've had stacks and stacks of things that I've had to get done, and I've been thinking there's just no way I can have today off, or there's no way I can do something different today. I absolutely have to get this finished today. I have to write this today. I have to. And I'll sit there and I will force myself to write it, and I will get words written, but I will know that they're bad, and it will take me so long, and it will just have this anxiety in me that just builds and builds and builds and builds, because the longer I try and make myself do it, the more I understand that what I'm doing isn't even worth writing. It's substandard, it's crap, basically. So all I'm doing is stressing myself out to the point that it makes it even harder for me to write well, for the sake of producing something that isn't good enough to use anyway. But the final thing that I want to say about the Rebellious Muse is the fact that you shouldn't resent the rebellion. You shouldn't resent the fact that there are days when you just can't find your creative juices, because the days when you have them are enough that they make up for it tenfold. The fact that you have that talent at all is a gift. It is a huge, huge gift. Okay, and there's this old saying about gift horses and mouths and not looking at them. But the point is, don't hate the rebellious Muse, embrace her. That rebellion, that difference, that creative spark that you have that nobody else has, that is the thing that is going to make your business and yourself soar. It's going to make you successful. It's going to make you happy. It's going to give you a sense of fulfillment. It's going to do all the things that you know a normal 9-to-5 job can't do. And some days it's not there. That's just the way it is. Find something else to do on those days. Make sure you know what tasks you have that you can do on days when your creativity is just not there. When the light's not there, there has to be something else that you can do. So it might be going over your cash flows, your budget, checking on invoices. It could be a million different admin jobs, or it could be something totally different, like, I don't know, spending the time networking or learning even. You know, if you've got courses building up that you've bought and you've never got around to doing, perfect day to do it on a day when your own mojo is gone. Learn from somebody else's. Okay? So, do you have a rebellious Muse? Or does yours actually do what you want it to and turn up when you tell it to? I'd love to know. Any thoughts you have? Creativity and lack of light days. Days of darkness. Comment below, like, share the video, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. I'll see you next week. Bye! Don't mind me, there's a dog licking my foot. It's a little distracting. Hi! What? Oh, hello. Hello. What? I'm filming. Go and eat your dinner. Go on. For those of you who haven't met Dexter, sit down.